Hello and welcome to another edition of Long Beach Treasures. I'm your host, Harvey Keller. Today I'm standing in front of one of Long Beach's most popular and certainly one of the oldest bars in the city of Long Beach, Jost. This popular bar is really a friendly bar, and as you walk through the swinging doors you almost expect people to say, "Norm," because this certainly is a type of bar where everybody knows your name. So come on in and we'll go in and we'll see what Jost is like. Okay, joining me now is Sean Flathers. Are you the manager here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and Jost has been here how long?
88 years.
Jost, is that the name of the original founder?
Yes, it is.
And is it still in the Jost family?
Yes, it is. The grandson owns it now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And you've been here for?
Going on 18 years.
The place, the bar.
Oh, the bar? 88 years.
88 years. And this is the original location?
Yes, it is.
Wow. And your specialties here are, it has to be eggs, because I see a case full of eggs here. What's special about the eggs?
They're pickled in our brine that we've had for years.
And you also have some special sandwiches here?
Yeah, it's called Joe Special. It's Polish sausage on rye, pickle, mustard, and Swiss cheese.
Now, do you do a big lunch business here?
Yeah, come about 11:30, 12. People start coming in. You know, lasts for a couple hours and dies down. Then later on, starts picking back up again.
Now, do you have a lot of regular customers who've been coming here for years and years?
Yes, we do.
Do you?
I see the same face over and over again.
Is that just because it's such a friendly bar?
I sure hope so. I mean, we want to keep them coming back.
Now, this doesn't look like it's been remodeled for a few years. You've been here since
24.
And so it's sort of in the original condition then.
Yeah, I mean, we've made a few changes, but we try to make them subtle so people don't notice.
And I notice you have big mugs for the beer.
Yeah, they're called schooners.
Schooners?
Yes.
Has this ever been used as a film location?
Yes, we've done quite a few.
And you're open 7 days a week?
7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 11 p.m. and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Now, you have something in the back room here I want to ask you about. Could we walk back here for a minute? The peanut roaster here. Tell me about it.
Well, we've had it now for probably 10 to 12 years. We got it from the Marmion Company. They owned a spice and paper company down on, I think it was Broadway, and they had a fire. They weren't going to reopen. They've been around Long Beach for about as long as we have, maybe even longer, and they thought it'd be a good fit, so they came and talked to the owner, see if we wanted to take it, and he said sure.
Now, how often do you roast peanuts?
Right now, 5 days a week.
Just one barrel a day, or?
Depends on the day. You know, Fridays, Saturdays, we'll generally do 2 batches. Mondays, 2 batches, because we don't roast on Tuesdays.
Is this operated by an electric generator?
Electric motor. I'm not sure if it's the original motor, but it's pretty old. It's, you know, probably 1920s.
So you use raw peanuts and then just roast them?
Yes, we do. For about 55 minutes, and take them out and hand out a few samples, and hope people like them and buy them.
That's great. And the pool hall here, this is used a lot?
Yeah, it does. It's more of a convenience for our customers to have something to do while they're here. You know, the tables are turn-of-the-century Brunswick tables, so they're fairly old.
Really a large room back here, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
All of these pictures, are these people who have some significance with the place? Or?
Yeah, well, if you notice, everybody in these pictures are wearing a Jost T-shirt. They're all over the world, and it's something that somebody started a long time ago and just caught on. So they're going to someplace famous or whatever, they take their Jost T-shirt, get their picture taken, and we put it up.
Like the press telegram picture?
Yes.
That's a great idea. At least you get a lot of publicity over the world.
Oh, we certainly do.
This is really a neat old place. It's just, how come you've never been designated a historical site?
That I can't answer. I'm not sure. The owner would probably know.
It really seems like you should be, since you've been here for so long and since you've played such a part in Long Beach for 80 years. Have you ever had any famous people just stop in that you know of?
I haven't seen them, but when the Rams used to practice over here at Blair Field, I heard they used to come in a lot. Joe Namath and some of the other football players.
Yeah, he used to live down on the peninsula when I lived down there.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. So, can we go back out and maybe talk to a couple of your bartenders?
Sure.
Okay, joining me now is
John Rafkin.
John. How long have you worked here?
It's been about 2.5 years now.
And how do you like it?
One of the best jobs I could say I've ever had, actually.
What's so special about Jost?
Clientele and management and ownership.
I feel comfortable back here. Maybe I can come and get a job.
I don't know. I'm still waiting for another shift, so
Oh,
you're on a list.
All right. Thanks for talking to us.
No problem.
And now joining me is
Chris Tidwell.
Chris. How long have you been here?
Been here about a year.
And do you like it?
Oh yeah, I enjoy it very much.
How many beers do you have here? Do you know?
We have 10 beers on draft, one of which is a root beer and a non-alcoholic also.
Just plain root beer?
Yeah, root beer on draft. Very good. Very popular at lunch.
Now, I see in here eggs after eggs after eggs. A lot of eggs.
Endless supply of eggs. We sell about 300 a day. So you can see, we shell them all by hand too. It's pretty cool.
Oh, they must really be popular.
Very popular.
What do you like best about working here?
I actually like the diversity of the customers. It's pretty cool. You can come in here and meet all kinds of different people, and if you come in here and enjoy a beer, usually you're not going to feel out of place. You'll fit right in and have a good time.
Do a lot of people drink the plain root beer?
Lots of people drink the root beer. It's really popular at lunch, and then when the families come in with their kids, the kids will have the root beer and enjoy the day here at JoJo's, playing pool and whatnot. And
isn't that unusual to have root beer on tap in a bar?
it's pretty unusual. People are surprised when we do say that we do have root beer on draft, but once they try it, they love it.
What's your most popular beer?
By far, Pabst. Pabst
It
Blue
is?
Ribbon. Yep.
Well, that surprises me. I didn't even know Pabst was still in existence.
Yeah, it still is our most popular beer. I don't know the figures, but it's probably 8, 9, 10 to 1 of any other beer on tap.
Draft and bottle?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that really surprises
Get the most bang
me.
for your buck.
That really surprises me. I wouldn't expect Pabst to be the most popular beer. I would think Bud, Coors, or one of those.
Coors Light falls in a close second, but Pabst is still the most popular.
Well, this is a great place, and I just think it's a neat place to come, and I hope that people who haven't been here will come down and check it out, because this certainly is one of Long Beach treasures.
Oh, definitely. Come on down. You guys will have a good time.
Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome.
Okay, joining me now are two of the customers here at Jost. And your name, sir?
Walter Cernecka.
And?
Yeah, I'm Rob, his friend.
Now, how long have you been coming here?
God, probably since 1980.
Well, what's the big attraction here at Jost?
Just kind of the family atmosphere, I guess, and just good people.
Is it a friendly bar?
Almost.
Oh, yeah. It's very friendly. I think it's one of the biggest things, it's very nostalgic, and it was here since 1924, and you just don't see places like this anymore. I mean, it's one of a kind.
Is it sort of like a Cheers bar where everybody knows your name?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is. Everyone comes here, and everyone knows who you are, and it's just a very quaint place.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
I noticed two pictures up on the wall behind us. Who are they?
Well, as we're looking at, it's Joe Sr. on the left and his son Joe Jr. on the right.
Sean, I want to thank you for letting me stop by and check out Jost today, because I truly do think this is a Long Beach treasure. So thank you for letting us stop by.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
And don't go away, we'll be right back, and cheers.
What makes Paulie's different?
Well, first of all, his coffee is fresh roasted 1,000 miles from Seattle, so we like to have coffee that's fresher and tastes better.
We carry about 70 varieties of coffee. But the thing that I believe makes Paulie's special is the people who work at Paulie's. We're a neighborhood store. We're your family store. We know you, you know us. We'll take care of you. We were voted the #1 coffee house in Long Beach in the recent Press Telegram poll.
Paulie's Gourmet Coffee. Doesn't get any better than this.
Oh, hi, I'm Dr. Jack Thomas, and I'm very excited to tell you that Dr. Jack's House Call in conjunction with Charter Communications is on the air in its brand new format. We're live the third Tuesday of each month at 6:30 p.m. with repeat performances twice weekly. It's incumbent on us to be advocates for our own good health. Staying well comes from living well, being informed, and not relying on health insurers who may not have our best interests in mind. So be smart. Tune in. It's your life.
Of all the gin joints.
No cuts, no commercials, no competition.
I don't want any trouble.
Only the greatest movies of all time, all the time. Turner Classic Movies.
Catch it on Digital Channel 93, Analog Channel 54B.
Wilbanks Carpet Company. If you're looking for carpet, floor covering, beds, or furniture, come to Wilbanks. We carry all the major premium carpets by Karastan, Horizon, and Mohawk, and you never have to pay sales tax. See our premium bed selection with many name brands to choose from. Or check out our furniture with the latest styles at great prices. View our beautiful floor coverings from Mannington, Wilson Art, and many more. Wilbanks Carpet Company. Never pay retail or sales tax again.
Welcome back to Long Beach Treasures. I'm your host, Harvey Keller. The building I'm standing in front of now was built in 1924, and it housed a market. After the 33 earthquake, this one-story plus mezzanine was remodeled using a streamlined modern motif, and it was an automobile showroom for Glenn E. Thomas Automobile Dealership. In 1964, Acres of Books moved here. Acres of Book is a family-owned store that has been in existence for well over 50 years. Bertrand Smith, who was the founder, was a recognized dealer in antique books, and he also donated a sizable collection of rare books to the Long Beach Public Library system. So let's go in and we'll see what an old bookstore looks like. This certainly is not the same concept of the modern bookstores that we're used to today. So let's go in and check it out. Okay, joining me now is Jackie. And Jackie, your position here?
I'm part owner, manager, General Dog's Body.
Oh, then are you part of the Smith family?
I'm the granddaughter-in-law of Bertrand Smith, who is the founder.
So this is still in the same family?
Same family, third generation.
For well over 50 years?
Yeah, close to 1934 to now. That's about 70 years almost.
Okay, now tell me, down to the last book, how many do you have here?
A lot. Counting what we have in storage, we probably have 1 million.
Wow.
There's 6.5 miles of shelves, and there's probably 700,000 on the shelves to be sold.
How do you know where all these books are? I look down here and I just see row and row and row and shelves after shelves of books. And what if I came in and I said I wanted October 31st, 1933 National Geographic? Could you find it?
No, I'd have to tell you we don't do geographics anymore. We don't have any magazines.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the sign lies. But the books are set up by subject matter, and we can pretty well tell you where to start looking.
Now, how do you get your collection here?
We buy them from people off the street who are moving, who are cleaning out their attics, whose interests have changed. There are people who go to the thrift stores and estate sales and buy things that they hope to resell to me. I buy estates. If you have over 500 books, I'll take my big truck and come out to your house. But I don't buy everything. I go through every book and look at it and decide if I want it or not, because I don't have any storage space left.
What determines whether or not it's a collection or a book you might want to purchase?
Whether or not I have it or can sell it. Things that just don't sell are old textbooks, Reader's Digest condensed books, book club fiction, just because there's so many copies of them around, you don't need any more. Things I always need are books on trains and chess and the beat writers, classic metaphysics like Theosophy and Manly P. Hall, those kind of guys we need.
I notice you keep up to date because in your front window I noticed you had several copies of Elvis Presley.
That's John's doing. He keeps our windows up and tries to find something topical and interesting.
Now, is that an area of books that would be saleable?
Certain titles. Again, there are certain titles that we have a lot of, and we won't take those because we've got a lot.
Now, somebody had mentioned one time that Ray Bradbury used to come down here.
Yes.
Does he still?
He hasn't been in lately since he had a stroke. He doesn't have the strength. But he used to come in every time he had a speaking engagement around here, and he would come down in his limousine with Stan Freberg and John Lord and a couple of guys from New York, and they would party on the way down, come in here, shop, accept adoration, then go over to the Sir Winston room and have dinner, and then go to his speaking engagement, and then go home.
And what kind of books did he buy?
Reference books, mostly research stuff, and other people's science fiction.
This is really an interesting...
you want to walk on?
Absolutely. Let's just look around here.
Okay, we'll go on off. This is the so-called music room. Right now, the electrician's working in there because the lights have gone out. Stay close to the mic. And all the little side rooms, that's a restroom.
I like your bookshelves. They look, a lot of them just looks like crates, are they?
A lot of them are old apple crates. This is the military room here, the whole thing, on America's wars. Yeah, he used to go over to the farmer's market and buy the apple crates for 7 cents a piece. And so, yes, a lot of our shelves are apple crates. When we were across the alley from Buffum's, he used to go out in the alley and pick up Buffum's discards. So our wonderful tables that we use for pricing and checking and everything are Buffum's old yardage tables.
Boy, this just keeps going back and back and back.
Back and back. We go clear to the alley. We're headed for the fiction room now. And we're passing through natural history and women's studies. Off to the side, we've got world history and biographies and business books and education.
Was it your grandfather that gave a sizable donation of rare books to the city library here in Long Beach?
Yes, that was my husband's grandfather.
And what kind of books were those?
They were quite expensive, rare books. He used to go to England many times a year and buy collections there. He would go into a bookstore and say, I want those, and buy a whole wall, and he'd ship home 2 or 3 containers of books every couple of months. And so we got some wonderful things, and he decided to donate some to the library, and they're in the room whose name I can't remember in the basement of the library.
This certainly is different than some of the modern bookstores that you have in some of the malls today, like Borders.
Yes, it is. We are not disabled compliant, unfortunately. We were grandfathered in under that because we were built before people were aware of that sort of thing.
I didn't see a little coffee pot and croissants like the others
No,
have.
we have no coffee pot. When it gets hotter, I'll have a jug of ice water by the register. That's as good as it gets.
So now we're in the fiction
room.
section?
And we go on back through here. We have subcategories of fiction. We have science fiction, mysteries, horror, westerns, military.
You probably do have an acre of books here, don't you?
I think we do. With the 6.5 miles of shelves, if we laid them out flat, there's probably an acre.
Wow.
I'll take you back and show you the warehouse, and you'll see kind of what we're up against.
And where were you located before you moved here?
We were at 140 Pacific, which is kind of where the City Hall is now.
Oh.
Yeah. This is the storage, one of them.
These are all filled with books?
These are all books.
Wow.
All of this. And we just come back and take up 4 boxes at a time, price them, sort them, put them where they belong. And
this looks like Grandma's attic, doesn't it?
it's worse. It's scary back here sometimes. And, if you come in and ask for a specific book, sometimes we'll say, duh, what's it about? And we'll try to send you to where we think it will be if we have it. And
No, you don't sell new books.
we have a few review copies and what are called remainders, which are things that have gone out of print that they're trying to get rid of, and they discount them.
No, you did away with magazines simply because you had no room?
Yeah, and it's just trying to keep them straight, what people want, and to try to keep them from getting torn up, all that sort of thing. It's just way difficult. It's a whole other specialty. He used to get them from the post office, the undeliverable magazines.
Oh.
And bought them by the ton. And he'd pick out the ones that he could sell.
Quick, let's grab some boxes. I see some empty shelves here. We can fill them up.
That was our Sea Stories section, and it kind of got
washed away?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the holes are always in the wrong place. Our science fiction section is just jammed right now, and we have empty shelves in the Sea Stories, but you don't really want to start taking, you lose what continuity you have when you do that.
Now, I'm sure that you're internationally known, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. We've got people who come in from all over the world. When we had the urban renewal crisis a few years ago, we put forth a letter writing campaign. We got letters from everywhere in the English-speaking world and some that don't speak English. We got them from Holland and Germany and England, South Africa, Brazil.
And I suppose you have customers who keep in contact with you in case you get a particular book or books?
We don't run a want list, but we have people who call us every month looking for certain things. People who are here every day on their lunch hour.
I know a lot of my friends come down here and just go browsing, and I have one friend who lives up in Northern California, and every time he and his wife come down here, he spends half of his time here in the bookstore because he loves this place.
Yeah, I appreciate that. There are a lot of people like that. We have one woman who's her birthday present every year. Her husband drops her off on his way to work, and then he picks her up and takes her to lunch, and whatever she finds between opening and lunch is her birthday present. So that's always kind of fun.
Does she rake in quite a few?
Yeah. Yeah, she likes the biographies of women, so she does real well on that.
Well, your aisles are narrow, and it's just packed with books.
It's packed, and you'll notice the lighting's not real hot back here because there isn't any. We have skylights. On cloudy days, we give you a flashlight.
Well, I just can't believe and get over all of the books and the rows. And just looking here, this reminds me of standing on the deck at the Queen Mary. You look down and it keeps on going forever, and that's exactly what this seems like. It goes on forever.
Yeah, it does. It's a half a block long, and it's great fun working here. And people always ask what happens in an earthquake, and the answer is nothing. We never have more than maybe 100 books on the floor because the earthquakes seem to go this way, the same way the shelves are. So they just kind of flop on the shelves and nothing happens. So far, knock on some wood.
Boy, this is indeed a Long Beach treasure, isn't it?
It is. We are a landmark. Fortunately, we have a little bit of an interesting facade, so they got us in under that, but we're really a landmark for the business itself. They wanted to save that.
So this is designated by the Cultural Heritage Commission as a Long Beach landmark?
Yes,
Oh, I knew the building was. I didn't know Acres of Books.
Acres of Books is.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was, as I said, we're in constant state of shelving, organizing, moving around, getting stuff done. We have fans going because we've no air conditioning.
What are your hours and how often are you open?
We're open from 9:15 to 5, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. During daylight savings hours, we're open from 9:15 to 7 on Friday and Saturday, and on Sunday from 11 to 4.
And I'm sure you have people here
Oh, yeah.
from opening to closing.
Yeah. Sometimes we have to throw them out, and they offer to stay if we'll give them a flashlight and leave the cat. So,
this is wonderful.
And the cat's one of our big draws. I don't know where she is right now, but we have people who come in and just to talk to her and walk out again.
And you're right across the street from another landmark, the old post office.
Yes, isn't that a wonderful building?
It is. It's a beautiful building. I wish we had more of the old monumental government buildings that have been torn down in Long Beach here.
Don't go there.
I know. I was president of Long Beach Heritage for 3 years.
Yeah.
So I was very involved with the preservation. And in fact, as being with Long Beach Heritage, I did the downtown walking tour.
Oh, wonderful.
And we always stopped across the street there and talked about this building and acres of books.
Well, I'm so glad you came in.
And several times when I did the elder hostel tours, a lot of people on the elder hostel tours who weren't from Long Beach knew of, they called Bertrand Smith instead of acres of books. But they knew of the place, and that's where they all wanted to come over here. So it's a popular destination for a lot of people.
It is. And he had the store in Cincinnati before he came out here. He came here when in his mid-60s and opened this store and worked here up until 2 weeks before he died at the age of 94 or 95.
And when was that?
64, 65.
Oh, it's been quite some time ago.
Yeah, and then his son Gene took over the store at that point and ran it until his death in 92, in which time my husband and I took over. But the family story, which may or may not be true, was that Bertrand and his wife had an argument in Cincinnati, and he put his toothbrush in his pocket and got on the train, and this was as far as the train went.
But she didn't come with him.
Well, she came later.
Oh.
I guess he got tired of being mad at her and sent for her.
And so that he started the bookstore then?
Actually started a tiny bookstore in the depot in San Diego, because San Diego's really where the train went.
Used books?
Used books, he called it the Traveler's Bookstore. And then he came to Long Beach and got the big store going. And we had one man, Frank Cotton, that almost everybody knows, who worked here his entire working life, except for the time he was in the Army during World War II. Worked here from the day he got out of college, well, he was in college until he died in his mid-80s. About 5 years ago.
Wow, he was here a long time.
He was here, and he knew everything. People would walk in and say, I'm looking for this book. It's black, about that tall, has line drawings of Indian dancers. He says, oh yeah, that's such and such, David so-and-so illustrated. I haven't seen a copy for 20 years. I saw that with my own eyes. I thought, wow. Because he lived and breathed books. He never got married, lived in his parents' family home all his life, and was just an amazing man.
Well, you know, I want to thank you for joining me today, because this certainly is a Long Beach treasure, and I know a lot of people in Long Beach come here, shop, browse, and I'll have to go through and see if I have any rare books at the house I'll bring over and donate.
Oh, well, we'll buy them if we can use them.
Jackie, thank you so much for letting us stop by.
Thanks so much for coming in. It's been a pleasure.
And be sure and join us again next month as we take another walk through history and uncover more Long Beach treasures.